Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. It's a time for joy and togetherness, but for many, the holidays can magnify feelings of loneliness and disconnection. Here to help navigate those difficult feelings, we welcome back personal growth strategist and author of Build Your Village, Florence Ann Romano. It's so nice to see you.
Hello, my friend. Great to see you.
A lot of us just think about how busy we are during the holidays, and we've got so much to get to, but we forget that this can be a really tough time for some of our loved ones.
It can. Holidays can be triggering, and sometimes you don't have that family around you like you see in a Hallmark movie, and it can get you down. And so figuring out who your chosen family is and who provides you that comfort and joy, and being very intentional about being around those people in your life during this time of year. I always say, no matter what your village looks like, no matter what you were born into, I want to empower you to be able to choose what you want it to look like for yourself. And this is a great time of year to start really paying attention to that.
Because can all the imagery that we associate with the holidays, like movies and things where you see family and friends gathering, can that kind of highlight those lonely feelings that some people are going through?
Of course, it's so normal. I mean, I'm going to make you laugh. I even watch those Hallmark movies, those Christmas movies myself. And of course, they're all falling in love with the small town guy and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this has not happened. This has not happened to me. And I don't know who this is happening to, but I love watching it, So of course it can, give you pause in those moments and think, gosh, this is not reality. But that's the same way when you look at social media and you see everyone else maybe having this jolly, merry time. And you're like, gosh, I'm not going to see any Christmas lights, or I'm not making hot cocoa and drinking it in front of the fire with 20 friends. So I understand why we can get into that, perhaps that dark or that sad place when you're comparing yourself to the overstimulation of content that is out there that we consume. And sometimes we have to stop ourselves from doing that because it does more harm than good.
Well, and I think a lot of us can relate, no matter what your family situation or your chosen village looks like. A lot of those comparisons can just really set us on a spiral. So let's talk about positive ways to move forward. Do you have strategies to kind of maybe identify some new villagers you could bring into your circle this time of year?
Well, I always think about what's the real meaning of the season, of the holiday season, and service. That's really what comes to mind, and love and showing up for people and compassion. So the first thing I want you to do is think about how you can serve, because generally philanthropy is a great way that's going to connect you to people that have similar values to you. And then you're also going to be able to kind of have the double whammy there. You're going to meet people that are like-minded, but you're going to be able to do something good. You're going to have a ripple effect of compassion or change or empathy in this world. So think about what makes your heart beat. Think about what makes your heart flutter. I've said that before. And put your energy there. And that is going to be a way that you're going to take that step forward in connecting to be able to try to combat some of that loneliness.
And what about kind of recognizing that building your village and being a part of somebody else's village, right? It's a two-way street, so you have to kind of open your heart and be ready to be there as a friend for somebody new.
Absolutely. This is a great time of year to think about also, too, how you show up for others. Who are you to other people? New Year's is not too far away here. And, people always make New Year's resolutions. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this and do that. And you know what? What if you think about what type of villager can I pour myself into? Maybe I could be a really good accepting villager, or a healer villager, or a dependable villager. You can start to really dive into that and what those definitions of those villagers are, and say, you know what? I'm going to spend the next year really leaning into this because I want to show up as this person in my circle of friends, so that it is that reciprocation that you and I are talking about right now, where it's who am I and how do I show up for others, and also who do I need and how do they show up for me.
That's a great way to set the intention, especially moving into a new year. What about gratitude? Sometimes just making that list, right? It's so simple, but it can really kind of show you what you have to be thankful for.
It is so simple. And, gratitude is something we should be showing on a daily basis. And if you have children, this is something to practice with them too, whether that's, mindful moments that you have with them during the day, or it's prayer before they go to sleep. However, you bring about gratitude into your life, however, you honor gratitude in your life, make it a family affair. And if it's not a family affair and it's just for you personally, you don't have to sit there and really think about it so hard. It's the small things in life generally. It's food to eat and shelter and a warm bed to sleep in. These are things that seem small, but in a world where there's so much destruction and we've seen so much happen, even with Hurricane Helene and people who are still displaced, it's not a small thing to sit there and be grateful for that.
That's great perspective too. And obviously loneliness just as a whole topic is such a heavy thing to tackle, but those moments of solitude, if you can kind of reframe those, they're kind of really nice opportunities to have those quiet moments alone with yourself.
Stillness is not a bad thing. People talk about, that stillness sometimes makes people uneasy. And instead of that uneasiness, I'm not telling you not to feel that. Of course, you can feel that. But after you feel that emotion, what's the next thing you can do that's active, that's proactive? And sometimes when you don't know what to do, being still is the answer, because that's when the answers do come to you. So don't be afraid of that solitude. Sometimes that is where the answers are.
I love it. Hey, it's always nice to see you. Thank you so much.
So good to see you too.
We'll see you soon. Again, Florence Ann's book is Build Your Village. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com.